I want to go across to the expert. Dr. T.V. Ramachandran actually researches this before we get into the political back and forth on why this isn't a poll issue. Dr. Ramachandran, I'm very curious to know from you. There are two perspectives. What we heard from Meena is the perspective that infrastructure is important and therefore don't blame the infrastructure. The counter to that is that a lot of this infrastructure has come up in land that earlier used to be lakeland or areas around lakes, and therefore when there is flooding, the water has simply nowhere to go, it comes out onto the roads. Given how bad things are at this moment, who do you think is responsible? Are things in time to come likely to get better, or will it get worse from here?
Well, we need to accept that because of the global warming, the changes in climate is happening. You know, there are high intensity rainfall is happening in the region, throughout the country and throughout the globe. We need to wake up and we need to put our house in order. Now, when you look at Bangalore situation, I would say that the blame is towards the unplanned urbanization. You know, over the last 2.5 or 3 decades, the Bangalore has been concretized. There is no place for the water to seed. You know, if you look at the Bangalore topography, it's an undulating terrain. Taking the advantage of undulating terrains, in 1800 we had 1452 water bodies. Today we have only 193 water bodies. We had interconnected lake ecosystem. You know, lakes were interconnected, but today the connectivity among the lakes are lost. Rajakalves have been encroached, and then, you know, you can see if you go to R.R. Nagar, very influential section of the society have encroached the Rajakalve, or it is the clogged because of the solid waste dumping. When you look at the urbanization, the way the concretization has happened, you know, the city, the landscape, you know, city is about 740 square kilometers. We had a 68% green covers in 73. And today, 85% of our landscape is covered with the concrete. When you choke the region with so much of concretization, in the name of development, we are putting our people into the distress. You know, we are not sure whether our children will come back home safely. You know, this is all because of the poor planning, and people do not even know what are the causal factors. You know, the Rajakalves, in the name of remodeling, we have been concretizing the Rajakalve against the natural function of the Rajakalve. You know, every budget, the Chief Minister goes on announcing 1,500 crore for remodeling the Rajakalve. This remodeling is nothing but narrowing the Rajakalve and concretizing the Rajakalve. When I look at the topo map or the cadastral map, the Rajakalves, which are 60 meter and 80 meter, for example, between Belandur and Nagara, they have narrowed it down to 18.5 meters. There is a limit for corruption. You know, there is a limit for unplanned urbanization or a mismanagement of natural resources. You know, that 18.5 meters, they have done it. Apart from remodeling, they have been wasting on concretization. They also want to help the influential section of the society, the builders and other mafias that are in the region. In the process, Koramangala has the flooding. You know, wherever we people have removed the lake, you see the hotspots of flooding is happening. If you look at Belandur and Vartur, we are rejuvenating as per the NGT this one, but even that has not taken the shape still. You know, the rejuvenation process is slow. We have not even evicted the encroachment. You see the slums still there despite the NGT's guidelines. And bureaucracy is so lethargic. And we talk about smart city. We waste money on smart city program. But actually smart city, we are not improving the infrastructure, but we are spending the money in the name of smart city and wasting the resources. I think we need to think about how to plan the cities in India before we launch such a mega program. You know, the 1,055% increase in concrete area over the last 4.5 decades, and 88% loss of green cover, and about 80% loss of wetlands. You know, these are all the reasons for the flooding in the region. There is no place for the water to go. You know, people talk about interlinking rivers. My question to them is, first you interlink our lakes in Bangalore. Our problem of flooding will be solved. Let us identify the lake and the boundary of the lake. Remove all the encroachment and maintain the integrity of the buffer zone. So those are the things has to be done on priority. There's no point in spending 1,500 crore for remodeling.
You know, you've laid out so many facts and figures.
That 1,500 crore, I met it. Yeah.
Go on, go on. I don't want to disturb you, sir. Go on and complete what you're saying, and then I'll build on what you're saying.
Yeah, when Chief Minister announced the 1,500 crore for remodeling of the Raja Kaluways, I met him personally. I gave the report titled Flooding in Bangalore, the causes and remedial measures. I thought that the government official will look at it and implement the thing. Even after 6 months, I don't see anything happening. Let us stop blaming each other. Let us now, what is required is a secure Bangalore, safe Bangalore for our children. We cannot face this. There is no point in urbanizing the Bangalore like this. We should stop urbanization. We need to decongest Bangalore on priority. We need to live in Bangalore. Our children have to live in Bangalore. And our decision maker has to take advantage of the knowledge capital, the kind of the potential that is there in the city. We need to take that and apply it for the thing. These people will go to Ladakh or to the London to understand about the urbanization, smart city or a flooding problem. Why cannot they come to the institution like IISc? We will tell you how to manage the city. That is what should happen. When there are scientists and experts are in the city, the Chief Minister first thing should have done is a brainstorming session in Bangalore, inviting all these experts to understand the problem.